Antony Loewenstein is the author of The Palestine Laboratory, a book on Israel's arms and surveillance industry. Anthony, you're joining us live from Sydney. Thanks for your time today. So another tactical victory for Israel. Tell us how you look at this.
Like it was with the killing of Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, about a month ago. And, so much of the Western commentary, both in media but also politicians, is so utterly ahistorical. Israel's been here before, killing large numbers of Hamas leaders, Hezbollah leaders in the last 20, 30, 40 years. The underlying reasons why these groups thrive in Palestine, Lebanon or beyond, and the circumstances in which they find themselves, namely an occupation in Lebanon for many, many years, an occupation in Palestine, which of course continues. This is the reason why these groups thrive. So yes, initially, these groups have had a setback, to be sure. They're being degraded, their leaders have been killed, many of their fighters have been killed. But the underlying reasons, the motivations for growing resistance has not changed. In fact, the last year, since October 7, has given so many more people the reason to be not just furious with Israel and frankly the US and many Arab states that have gone along with it, but even more incentive to fight back, whatever that looks like. So, and I look at the coming years ahead, sadly, I actually see the concept of what Israel wants of endless war, occupying at least parts of Gaza, potentially southern Lebanon, but not bring any kind of more security to Israel whatsoever. In fact, I would argue the security situation is going to get worse in the years ahead.
Can it work? The tactic of killing the leader of a group, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, because Benjamin Netanyahu directly addressed this. This was in the context of Lebanon a few days ago. He said, we killed Nasrallah and his replacement and his replacement's replacement. If you just keep going down that road, is there a track record of that working?
In the short term, yes. As I said, the US, for example, killed bin Laden. The US killed the leader of ISIS. Did that degrade those organizations to some extent? Absolutely. Are the reasons why those organizations existed changed? Not at all. In vast parts of Africa, for example, the Islamist insurgency tied to Al-Qaeda and ISIS has never been stronger in the last 20 plus years. My point in saying that is that you can keep killing leaders time after time after time. If you speak to any serious, non-ideological intelligence official from the US or even Israel, they will acknowledge this, that this is really supposed to be a sugar hit for Israelis. And you see in the streets of Israel many people celebrating. There's something really gross and almost like we're going back to the bad old days of cowboys and Indians, where people are celebrating the death of an individual. Hamas, there are many people who are critical of Hamas, including Palestinians. Some support them, some did not. There's no doubt it's a mixed picture. But the idea somehow that we are, when I say we, many in the West, celebrating the killing of an individual. And I might add, Israel had, I think, presumed that releasing drone footage of, I guess, the last moments of Sinwar, but also the image of him dead, would somehow be a boon to them. What I'm seeing, in fact, is the opposite, that Sinwar was not in a tunnel. He was not with Israeli civilians, hostages. He was fighting and resisting. Whatever we might think about that, that's the image that people will carry forward, whatever they might think of even of Hamas. And so the question, does killing leaders work? The short term, perhaps, as a sugar hit for people's citizens who want some kind of victory. But anyone who seriously thinks that the killing of tens of thousands of Palestinians or thousands in Lebanon brings anything like Israeli security, both within the region and internally, is delusional.
Antony Loewenstein, author of The Palestine Laboratory. Thank you for joining us this hour.
Thank you.